record.
Hi guys, it's Sandra Gonzalez,
Hey
Debbie,
guys, it's Debbie Ortiz de la Peña.
and Megan. We are here. This is our first segment. We're so excited to do these fun but also important segments to discuss real estate, mommy life, and all this additional stuff. So we're excited for you guys to be here. We hope you join in. Friday, we're actually going to be doing a giveaway as well. We're going to call it Foodie Friday. So stay tuned. Keep watching us. And today we're going to talk with Megan Cloud with the Pilgrim team. And she is the Senior Vice President for the Cloud team. And we're so excited to have you here, Megan. Thank you for being here.
Megan.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. So we have questions, lots of questions, but we're going to only ask 4 today. And then maybe we'll have you back on to answer some additional questions. But right now, it's really important to know what's going on. There's so much turmoil within the real estate and mortgage industry. Can you fill us in with what you're seeing and what questions you're getting and all that stuff?
Yeah, so it just really created a perfect storm a couple of weeks ago, you know, with just the massive historical rates. Number one, created a massive flow of refinances and purchases. You saw a ton of homes on the market flying off the market in hours, not even days. And then the coronavirus and the stock market falling and the Feds putting liquidity in the marketplace, it created an adverse effect on the mortgage industry. I mean, it was unintentional, but it did create an adverse effect. So now is just a perfect time to sit down with a trusted mortgage professional and go over the specific situation. And staying in contact with them daily is key right now, just because the market is changing and fluctuating by the day and sometimes by the hour. And loan programs can come back just as quickly as they went away. And right now, you know, it's one of those times where you just need to trust the professional and just be careful where you get your advice from.
Yeah, and thank you again for saying that, because I feel like we get so much information from so many sources right now that we really need to encourage people to just call the experts such as you if anybody has any questions regarding their mortgage, right? So there's also a lot of talk about, you know, borrowers that are facing some financial hardship, which I know there's so many out there, people that are struggling right now. And there is all this talk about them being able to skip their mortgage payment without any negative effects to their credit. So is this really true?
This is not true. And this is going to have a huge impact on the mortgage world very quickly if people believe that. So do not skip out on your mortgage payment. Forbearance does not mean forgiveness. And you know, right now, a lot of people don't understand that there are requirements by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in order to qualify. The servicer, who are the companies that are collecting the monthly payments, they're going to be evaluating borrowers to see if they are eligible for payment deferrals beginning July 1st. So we have a while to go, and the qualifications for that, at least what they've put out so far, is that, you know, the mortgage must have been originated at least 12 months prior to the evaluation date. So, you know, 12 months prior to July 1st. And
so if somebody got in November, for example, they wouldn't be
no, not at all. And borrowers must be 30 to 60 days delinquent and not have received a previous deferral or failed a non-disaster related loan modification. So that really puts a negative impact on people's credit. But, you know, even though Trump sent a memorandum to Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, telling them that they're not allowed to report those 60-day late payments, I just have to say that none of those 3 places are lending you money. It's servicers and it's the lenders, and then the servicers and the investors that are the ones lending the money. And they're not required by law to give you a loan. So that's where we have to be very, very mindful of making that payment. I mean, when you're getting laid off right now, the government has come in and stepped in and said, we're going to give you an extra $600 a week plus your unemployment benefits. And you know, of course, there's extenuating circumstances you know, you just have to understand that, like, think about it right now. If you were if you got a divorce, right? And you gave that to your spouse, and that's your spouse is required by law to make that, or required by the court to make that payment every single month. Well, if they don't make that payment, they're still, you're still on the hook until they refinance or sell that loan. So, you know, your credit is still negatively impacted until that loan comes off your credit. Yes, the courts say that you don't have to make the payment, but if the payment doesn't get made and then you go to buy another home and that payment hasn't been made, chances are you're not going to qualify for a mortgage because it's ruined your credit. Same thing goes for not making your mortgage payment in this situation. Yes, you know, they're saying it doesn't impact it, but we don't know what the ramifications are going to be in the future for that. And I will say, if it has anything to do with things that happened in 2008, I will say that things like this happened before, and there were negative impacts then, and there's going to be negative impacts now. If you make your mortgage payment, it's very important that you do everything you can to make that mortgage payment.
Thank you. That's a lot of information, but it's important information because everyone's assuming, oh, I don't have to pay.
Yeah, so if you think about skipping, just call Megan.
Yeah.
No.
Don't do it.
We'll refinance you. We'll do something.
With that being said, is right now, because you keep hearing, I mean, you hear so many things, right? About everything. And we just don't know what exactly is correct. So is right now a good time to purchase, and is right now a good time to refinance your home?
Yeah, I will say that right now is just as good a time as any time, especially if you don't like where you're being quarantined right now. It's the truth. I mean, you want a bigger house to where you got to stay in the house, you might as well go buy another house, right? The question is, will you be working, or are you going to be continuing to work? Right now, unemployment is through the roof right now, and unfortunately there's a lot of people that are losing their jobs and getting getting furloughed. And so obviously if that happens, we have to wait to refinance it and buy a home. But there are, once I will say, once this all blows over, as soon as the coronavirus blows over, there's going to be a whole lot of competition out there, which gets harder to buy that house that you love. So now is a great time to save money. You can't go anywhere. You know, you can easily save a couple extra $1,000 for down payment. Rates are still historically low. If you have equity in your home, cash out refinances are extremely popular right now. A lot of people are, if they have equity in their home, they're pulling out that equity to live off of, to just have a nest egg, or a little nest, or just something to fall back on in case something does happen, or even fixing their property up, renovating their home so that they can get top dollar for their home if they go to sell it. You can skip up to 2 mortgage payments on your loan when you go to refinance. So it's a great tool to use in this uncharted waters, uncharted time. Cash is king right now.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. So right now is a good time to still refinance, and right now you guys are still working on purchases of homes, so it hasn't stopped. You're still staying busy?
No, it's busier than it's ever been. Okay. Believe it or not, there are lots of people that are still out there purchasing, still out there showing properties. It's very busy out there right now. Rates are still extremely low. They're in the 3s right now. They're extremely low.
Well, that's good that they're low. Well, okay. So with that being said, what is the benefit of going with a local lender than going with a larger bank? And especially right now in these times, right?
Yes. So, I mean, really, the benefit is faster turn times. You're dealing with somebody that's local, that believes in closing loans in 30 days or less. Right now, you've got the big banks that are already inundated with tons of refinances. They're quoting, the big banks are quoting, 60, 90 days on their purchases, 180 days on their refinances. Just faster turn time. I will say, with myself and my team, we have dedicated processing, dedicated underwriting, and closing. We're able to close these loans in 20, 30 days. most of the nationwide companies aren't able to offer the dedicated support. So now the benefit now more than ever is simply because we're on the ground. We're, you know, boots on the ground in the marketplace, and that's the business that you're looking for, is looking for someone that understands the local market. You know, USDA is, you know, a great program. It's not the same in San Antonio as it is in somewhere like St. Louis. The turn times are very different. The areas that you buy in are very different. So it's always good to have a lender that you trust, that is local, that understands the local market around you.
And also, you know, I want to say just one quick thing. In my personal experience as a buyer and also in real estate, I mean, having someone to call, because there is uncertainty right now, and not have to jump from person to person. You can just pick up the phone and call someone you trust, and know you're going to talk to that person and they're going to give you a straight answer. I feel like it's a big deal.
Absolutely. A lot of local lenders have multiple investors that they can choose from. I will say that I used to, for 5 years, I worked at a national bank, and a lot of times they have overlays of red tape that they can't move past. Whereas with a local lender, you have multiple investors that you can choose from. You have, like I said, everything is in-house on a lot of these local lenders around here in San Antonio. So, you know, a lot of us, we don't work 9 to 5 like a normal bank. You know, you can call the big banks, they're working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We understand that, you know, real estate never sleeps, right? So
you and I don't sleep.
I know, we don't. Exactly.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, if you have a, you know, a buyer that is a, you know, a nurse or doctor that literally has been working, they work all day and sometimes all night, and
Sending all of our doctors and nurses kisses. We love you guys.
exactly. Sometimes they need that person that can talk to them at 8 o'clock at night, or on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday evening, that, you know, that they can spend the one-on-one time with. So that is very important right now.
Well, that's so much great information. So much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate everybody out there listening. And like I said, we are going to have some more segments that are going to be helpful for you being at home, right? Staying home, staying safe. And we'll bring Megan back on if you guys have additional questions. Is there anything you ladies would like to add?
I will just add that we're all in this together from the state and local standpoint. We're all just trying to do what's best for our neighbors, our friends, our family, and, you know, really God bless the workers. I know my sister is a physician assistant at a local hospital here, and, you know, the janitors, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store and food workers who are all selflessly serving their communities in this. I mean, we do appreciate you for everything that you're doing right now. You guys are the real heroes in this.
I agree.
That is very well said. And, you know, here you have 3 ladies that will make sure to put you first, make sure that your needs are met with whatever you need real estate wise. Just know that we'll find a solution for every single one of you in terms of what your needs are.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Like I said, we'll
Thank you. Everybody stay safe. Virtual hugs to everyone.
Yes, virtual hugs.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.